It's time!
I'm a champion now. If you thought I was a pain in the ass before, you got no idea what you're in store for.
Who the fuck is that guy?
The Doctor and the Driver podcast
starts now.
Welcome to episode 21 of The Doctor and the Driver. This is the driver, Gage, joined with Alex, the producer and co-host of this fantastic show. How are we doing? We doing good?
We're doing good.
Sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
We have a lot of exciting stuff today. It is Sunday, the day after. I still don't know what it's called. I think UFC Vegas 4 is what they call it.
Yeah.
Apex Center, Poirier versus Hooker fight night. Good night of fights. Lots of them were really, really good. Lots of them were surprising to me, at least. We'll get into it, but we will start the show in a minute or whatever with we have UFC Flyweight Gillian Robertson on to talk. We have a little interview for her. Get to know her a little better and see what she's got going on. And if you don't remember, she's coming off a big round 3 submission win against Courtney Casey literally last week, 1 week ago. So we get to talk to her about that, talk to her about her background, and hopefully we can get her to leak some information on who she wants next and when she's trying to fight again. And she's also doing Submission Underground, I think, July 12th, which is the day after UFC 251, Burns versus Usman. So that's exciting. Alex and I watched that. We are grappling fans, so pretty excited about that. Talk to her about that. And once we're done with her, then we'll get into the fights from last night.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool beans. So we're going to give her a call right now. Gillian. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys today?
Good. Welcome. Thanks for having us on, or I guess we're having you on, but thanks for having us part of your time. What are you up to?
I'm actually just in the process of moving right now. So recently, I've moved from Coconut Creek to Port St. Lucie, Florida. So I'm just getting everything out of my apartment right now.
Oh, perfect time.
Yeah, always a fun thing.
You can get us out of your apartment in a little bit. We'll just talk to you for a little bit.
No worries.
How's the weather there? It's always good there, isn't it?
It's super hot.
Super hot. Hot's good when it's cold everywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about it, but it's still, you can't walk outside without sweating. It's almost too hot.
And where are you moving to?
Port St. Lucie, Florida is kind of a smaller town. Yeah, that's where I started training, and that's where I met my coach, Dean Thomas. He had 2 gyms in Port St. Lucie. Then he ended up moving down to Coconut Creek at American Top Team, so I moved down there, follow him, and then he moved back to Port St. Lucie, so now I'm moving back so I can still train with him.
You just answered one of our questions before we got to ask it. Yeah, I seen that it said, I think, well, at least online it said as of March this year he left ATT and was is he just going to do his own camp with a few of you guys or what?
Yeah, he left ATT just to work with the fighters that he wants to work with specifically. So now he's just getting the opportunity to do that. So he has a lot more time for me, and he's working with Jose Shorty Torres, Hannah Goldie. There's a handful of us that he's just working with, putting his time into, so then he can really make world champions out of us.
That's what we like to hear. That's exciting stuff. Moving's fun. Moving's stressful, but also kind of fun at the same time.
Yeah, I got a lot of big, strong men here to help me, so I'm not doing too much. But
there you go.
I'm directing.
Yeah.
There you go. Alex, you want to ask her some stuff?
Yeah. So.
Well, hang on. Sorry.
We didn't really introduce ourselves at all.
Yeah. Well, my name's Gage, and his name is Alex.
Well, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. So, Alex, you can kick us off if you'd like.
So we're the doctor and the driver, and so Well, I just thought it was interesting. I know we're probably gonna ask you a lot of questions that you've answered like 20 times. So sorry about that ahead. But one thing I was curious about that I haven't heard in any other interviews, and I think it's funny too. You're talking about the weather. You're originally Canadian.
Yeah, originally Canadian, but I've lived in Florida majority of my life. I grew up in Port St. Lucie.
Okay, so you are sort of used to the heat.
Oh yeah, I'm more than used to it. I don't think I would survive in the cold anymore.
I wanted to ask you about your nickname. I think you have one of the coolest nicknames in the sport. How did you get that name?
So after my first amateur fight, my coach Dean Thomas, he wrote a letter about, like, it was an email he wrote to my whole team. And he was talking about, he's like, she's as quiet as a mouse, but when she walks into the cage, she turns into a savage. So after that, one of my friends, he was like, oh, you hear that? He called you a savage. And it just kind of caught on after that. So yeah, it was after my first amateur fight when I was 18.
Oh, that's awesome. And you've been with Dean Thomas since your first amateur fight. That's super cool.
Yeah, I've worked with him since 2 years before my first amateur fight, since I was 16 years old. So we're going on 9 years now.
Holy moly. That's awesome. Obviously, things are going well, so that's a good thing.
He's like, literally, I never played a sport in my life, and he was able to take me from absolutely no athletic ability to the UFC. So I think that says a lot for him.
It does. That's awesome. That's remarkable, really. Let's see. So, well, I already asked you the question, but I have a random question for you. I was wondering, in your time in ATT, I don't know if you've been asked this before, but something that people sort of talk about and assume. I was wondering if you ever personally saw any beef between Colby Covington and Masvidal or any of these other guys, that, because he seemed like burned a lot of bridges. So
I don't know. ATT is such a big place. Honestly, it's hard to get trapped in it, trapped in the drama if you're trying to stay out of it. So I'm good at staying out of it. I would always go in there and get my training and get my rounds in. Obviously have great training partners, but it's a huge gym, so I'd stay out of beef like that.
That's probably a smart thing. Probably smart.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious, kind of, it's really cool how the transition there, I'm sure, was crazy. Coming in, like you said, you're 16, kind of, I think I've heard before that you just kind of, like you said, you never played sports, just did kickboxing, and then to transition to like one of the top MMA gyms in the world. What was that like for you at the time? Were you nervous, like your first day going in, or?
A little bit, honestly. Like, I was a high level amateur. I want to say I was like 7-2 or 8-2 as an amateur whenever I first started going down to ATT to train in Coconut Creek, but I was still living in Port St. Lucie at the time. So it was like I would travel down there probably like 3-4 times a week. It was an hour-and-a-half drive. And I would go down there, train in the morning, sleep in my car, then train at night, and then go back to Port St. Lucie. So I kind of got a little bit of a transition period there. I didn't make the full move for a couple of years. I was still living with my parents and driving down there to train. And my first day, the reason that they called me down there was they needed, I think she was fighting Rose at the time, maybe. It was for Tisha Torres. So they asked me to go down there and just, she needed somebody to grapple her, someone who has slick hips like Rose, and they just put me in there with Tisha on the first day, and I was just 100% starstruck. It's like, I just watched this girl on The Ultimate Fighter, now she's standing across the cage from me. Like, that's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Wow, that is super cool. Speaking of grappling, was Dean Thomas the first person you ever started grappling with, as far as coach-wise?
He was the first person I started everything with, kickboxing.
Everything.
So, yeah, I literally never played a sport in my life until I was 16, and I started at his gym in Port St. Lucie.
Because it seems like I don't want to discredit your whole skill set, but you seem to be one of the top grapplers in the division, at least from where we're sitting. So it's crazy to me that you didn't come into MMA with some crazy grappling background, and then, you know what I mean? Because it seems like you're a grappling phenom.
I feel like generally just for smaller girls, it's just the smarter game plan to have, For us, it's going to be harder to develop power where like someone like Francis Ngannou can just like throw his fist. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% technical, but there's a lot of power behind it, Where
Right.
A female my size, I have to have 100% precision, technique, accuracy to be able to drop someone like he does. Where it's just I have the potential to take girls out faster if I became a good grappler. So I felt like that was that should be my strong suit. It's a smarter choice.
That's a brilliant answer. What's your favorite? If you had to pick one individual martial art to train forever, not compete, just if you had gun to your head, you have to pick one to do forever, what would your art be?
Oh, that's a tough question. Like, I feel like I'm not as good at stand-up, but I still enjoy it a lot. But I love training in the gi, and I don't get to do that as much anymore since I've just been with the UFC and working MMA more. So it'd probably be gi jiu-jitsu. I feel like that's my playtime. That's where I have fun.
That's a great answer too. Damn. Great answer. Collar chokes. I'm not a fan of a collar choke. Alex, what you got next?
So I think ATT was especially known for how many elite female fighters were in there, and kind of at the same time, all of you guys learning from each other. I was just curious, for you personally, who do you think? I mean, you're still relatively young, considering I think you're around our age. I'm 26, Gage is 27.
And 25.
25, yeah. So like, who kind of did you feel like brought you under your wing or their wing a little bit, with all those people, and kind of really taught you how to maneuver the sport?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's any fighter. It's Dean. Dean's the one who's always brought me under his wing, who's always taught me everything, and that's why when he left ATT, I felt like that's the vital resource. That's what I need. So I followed him, because him dedicating his time and him like, we've been doing one-on-ones every single day through this coronavirus, through these last couple months, and I've just seen myself excel so much in every single area of the sport, where obviously it's good to have all the training partners, it's good to have all the other girls, but that was just something to push me daily, some competition daily, to try out the new tricks that I was learning every single day with Dean.
That's a perfect answer for a segue, because I have a question about Mike Perry last night. It's interesting hearing you talk about Dean Thomas, which is so good to have such a strong relationship and so much faith in your coach, as he has faith in his fighters. So what's your take on Mike Perry basically saying, I don't want to misquote Mike Perry, but he has essentially said, I know how to fight. I don't need anyone in my corner, just my girlfriend. I mean, it seems like someone like you, that might be like, that's so disrespectful. That's, he's approaching it from the wrong angle. What are your thoughts on that? Because you seem so high on Dean Thomas, which I think is brilliant.
I think if it works for you, it works for you. Whatever helps the fighter perform in the best, then they should use that. And like, with me, like, I've had 2 UFC fights where Dean hasn't been able to be in my corner. It was actually because of Tyron Woodley. He had fights coming up with Tyron, so he had to go be there with Tyron and couldn't be with me at those times. And I chose to have just training partners in my corner who I didn't want to say anything, essentially playing the same part that Mike Perry's girlfriend did. Like, where I had one of my friends, Kayla Rocco, and then Jose Shorty Torres, where they're there to help me warm up in the back room. They're there to help me just get ready to walk out. And then once I walk in the cage, like Mike Perry was saying in an interview, he's like, it's not going to make a difference what your corner says. No matter what, like, the same shit's going to happen when you walk out there. You're like it's in the moment. There's nothing you can really predict. It doesn't matter what your corner says. And like, obviously it's nice. I love having Dean there. Dean but Dean lets me think too. Dean doesn't talk a lot. Dean will say one thing every once in a while, or just like come in the corner and be like, all right, breathe. You just need to focus on breathing. You're doing well. Like, not necessarily giving me technical advice. So if that's what makes Mike Perry comfortable, and obviously he's winning fights like that, then keep doing it.
But I mean, as far as has there ever been times maybe between rounds where there's something your coach sees that you don't, and he's like, that left hook's there all day long, after you feint, she's doing this. Is there ever anything that may potentially be eye-opening between rounds that you would need a coach for, or you still think every situation is so specific that it's hard to predict these things, I guess?
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to predict a lot of these situations. Then a lot of times, even if your coach tells you, oh, they're doing this a lot, then you sit there, you start waiting for it. You're not just fighting naturally. You're not just flowing and going out there and making your own decisions, because I feel like that's what Dean trusts me to do, flow and be a mixed martial artist.
Very good. Very,
Yeah.
very good.
The other,
Alex, go ahead.
my conspiracy theory about Mike Perry is that I think he knew the whole time he'd be able to hear Dominic Cruz and Michael Bisping talking and basically coaching him. Curious, you got to fight with no crowd. I was just curious your thoughts on that, and I was curious how much can you hear the announcers? Because we've heard from multiple fighters that, I mean, I know just offhand, like Greg Hardy straight said, like hearing DC talk, and I adjusted my game off of it. I was just curious, one, what was it like to fight with no one around? And two, could you really hear the commentators?
I think that they changed the commentate, like I think the commentators were closer to cage side before, where now they're a little bit farther, like at least when I fought, they were like 30 or 40 feet away from the cage, and they have protective shields in front of them. So I couldn't hear. I remember hearing John Anik talk a little bit in between rounds. I just remember him doing like the intro for Modelo in between rounds, where he that round was sponsored by that. So it's like I remember hearing that, but other than that, I never heard. And I had Michael Bisping and Dominic Cruz in the corner, and I never heard either one of them talk.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe it just depends on certain things, because I know last night after Hooker kicked Poirier in the cup twice, and then Bisping said something like he's got to do this, he got to stop doing that, and Poirier said, "Yeah, listen to Bisping," is what he said to Hooker, which was really funny.
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, no, I never got a chance to hear any of the what do you call them? Commentators.
I have a fanboy question for you. Everyone who's listened to the show knows. Obviously, you don't, but I am like the biggest Michael Bisping fanboy. Have you ever met him and actually had to exchange words? And what's he like in person if you have?
I haven't got to exchange words. The first time I met him was at the PI, but I was cutting weight. So he was staying out of my way, and I appreciated it at the moment. Me and my coach were just there. Like I was in, full body sweat and just trying to get those last couple of pounds up. So that's the only time I've ever met Michael Bisping. And yeah, he's probably happy he wasn't talking to me then.
That's I had to ask. I've been basically obsessed with Michael Bisping forever. Alex, do you have a question about we got to ask you about some marijuana stuff?
Well,
that's okay with you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's great. That's all good.
Okay. I was gonna say you don't seem very shy about it. I know. I was just curious because I know the policies of the UFC seem like they're kind of a mystery, but we've seen fighters actually before, like be pulled from fights for testing positive. So I was curious, do they have give you guys a window?
So we have in competition testing and out of competition testing. And in competition is weigh-in day, and then as soon as you take your post-fight drug test. So those 2 days is the only time period where they're monitoring the levels of THC that we have. And even then, you're still allowed to have a certain level of THC. So it's usually you really have to stop smoking week of the fight, 5 days out, and you'll be fine.
So you said you stopped smoking 5 days out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems like, are you sponsored by some manufacturer or something?
Yeah, I'm sponsored by Vitacan. They're a medical cannabis company in Florida.
Shout out. That's cool. That's pretty cool. There are lamer things to be sponsored by.
Oh yeah, no, they're one of my favorite sponsors. Definitely, they're up there.
Oh yeah, that's unique as hell. That's cool. Go ahead, Alex.
I would just like to play off of that. Do you think, I don't know if you want to get into this, but do you think UFC should bring back the banner sponsors and the short sponsors? Or do you have a team on that, or are you okay with Reebok?
I 100% think they should bring back sponsors like that. That's just more money in my pocket. Reebok, we get, I think it's $3,000 for your first 5 fights, and 5 to 10 fights, $5,000. Where it's pocket change compared to what I could be making if I had 4 or 5 or more sponsors out there, being able to show them on TV.
Yeah, on your trunks, and then they used to have the banners on the cage behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bellator still they can still have sponsors. Is that correct? Do you know?
Yeah, Bellator is like that.
Yeah, that's a shame because that's so much better, I think. For I mean, you're getting pretty up there in popularity, which is awesome with the success you've had. But I think the UFC has 600 fighters on the roster. Is the Reebok deal good for the people that no one really knows that have one fight in the UFC and maybe they couldn't get sponsors like someone like you? Is the Reebok deal better for those guys, or do you still think probably not?
I still think probably not. I feel like you could be making more than what you're getting paid with the Reebok deal, even if you are low level UFC. Like you're making $3,000 from Reebok for your first fight, so it's like that's 3 sponsors.
That's a good point. Really good point. And it's not as fun. It's not as fun either. It's so cool to see what the colors and the ads you can have on there. Way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. And adds personality, shows a little bit what that fighter's about.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I mean, I gotta ask, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Are there any talks with you and a potential opponent? And if not, is there anyone in your eye that you'd like to fight? And then also, when would you like to fight again?
So I have a grappling match coming up on July 12th on Submission Underground. It'll be on UFC Fight Pass, and that will be against Amanda Lowen, who is a very high-level black belt, 10th Planet black belt. I'm excited about that. And we were talking to Mick. He said hopefully September I'll be able to get back in there. I would love to see Antonina Shevchenko across the cage for me. But if they won't grant me with that, I would love, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready to fight. So it doesn't matter who it is, but I would love to see it. I feel like Antonina Shevchenko is a perfect matchup. And she's ranked, and I want that spot.
Hell yeah. Alex and I are grappling fans, just so you know. We are grappling fans. I'm a grappler myself, and we do watch Submission Underground and Fight to Win, all that stuff. So very excited to see you at Submission Underground on July 12th. That's super duper duper exciting. And I'm sure you're familiar with Andrea Lee, yes?
Yes.
She's a friend of the podcast. We've had her on before. She's a really cool person, just like you. So not to make beef, but I was wondering, is that a fight that might interest you by any chance? I think she's ranked 9th now.
Any girl who has a number next to her name is a fight that interests me.
Ooh, hell yeah. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Alex, you can have the next one. Go ahead.
Just curious. So I know you said, you signed up for a kickboxing class. Were you a fan of mixed martial arts and kickboxing, like growing up, or was it kind of a thing like, hey, I want to try this class? I'm just curious what made you walk in the door.
I have no idea, honestly. Like to this day, I still have no idea. I never watched a kickboxing movie. I never, I didn't know what UFC was. I couldn't tell you the difference between the UFC and WWE. Like I had no idea. Never watched jujitsu, nothing. There was no reason why. I went to a pretty not the best high school where there was a lot of fighting there, and that's the only thing I can think of. Is that was the cool thing to do in high school, is everybody was fighting. So but I've never been in a street fight either, so it's not like that is me. But that's the only reason I can ever see myself wanting to do that, because I really never watched a movie or anything about kickboxing.
Wow. I bet those kids fighting in high school wouldn't want to street fight you now.
Oh, 100% not. Not the boys or girls.
No, definitely not. That's a misconception from outsiders. I train with some high level women that can mop the floor with me. So sex doesn't matter once the skills at a different level. So yeah, I would love to see you and one of those high school dudes sparring. That'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, it's so funny. You have meatheads come into the gym and they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, you're a girl, and then you go ahead and manhandle them, and they just get a look of disbelief, they don't understand what just happened.
Yep, it's a beautiful thing to see. Have to agree. Alex, you got something else? What's up?
I know from what I've seen, you're a big dog lover. I don't think I've ever seen you talk about what dogs that are actually yours. Tell us about your dogs.
I just have one dog. His name's Robin. He's a 12-year-old pit bull. I adopted him with the Humane Society just over 5 years ago. And then I have a kitten too, who's mine, who I found literally the day before I left to go fight Macy Barber. I found her outside, and she's been mine ever since.
That's awesome. She just found her outside.
Yeah, I was drilling at a gym, and I postured up in guard, and I looked up and I saw her run across like the outside the window, and I was like, oh, it's just a baby. So I ran out, and then I was able to catch her.
Oh wow, that's hilarious. Was she hard to? Was she like, sketched out when you first brought her home, or?
She was definitely shy, but like you could tell that she was an indoor cat. Like she was looking for somebody. She was probably like someone's kitten who got out, and then she didn't have a microchip or anything. So I was happy to keep her though. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, that's great. You could have saved her, or you probably did save her. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Alex, you got something about Snoop Dogg, yeah?
I do. I don't know. I heard you have a really cool story about Snoop Dogg.
So when we were in the Tough House, Snoop Dogg had the Contender Series podcast that he was still doing, the Snoopcast with Uriah Faber. And we were at, like, when I was in the Tough House, we were allowed to go watch the Contender Series once a week. That's like, that was our, like, field trip once a week. They let us out of the house for that. And I asked the producer, I was like, what are the chances that we'd be able to meet Snoop? And she was like, oh, let me go ask Dana. And then Dana came over and then ended up bringing us upstairs. And like, if you walk in like the back hallways, everything smells like weed. Like the whole back hallway, it just smells like straight dank, like all the way up to Snoop's thing. So it's like where the fighters were warming up for the Contender Series, it just smelled so strong. And we walked upstairs, and a few of the girls were like, oh, it smells good up here. And he was like, well, you guys should see how it smells in my trailer. We walked down there, and he just starts pulling out blunts that are like this big, like huge. And he lights like 3 blunts, and our producer walks in and was like, oh, no, we can't be doing this. And then Snoop was like, who the fuck is this guy? Get this motherfucker out of my trailer. And so gets his bodyguard to kick out our producer, and we got to sit there and smoke weed with Snoop for like half an hour. I was sitting there, I'm like, this is like it didn't feel like real life, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. Did you catch any flack from the series, or kicking the producer out and stuff?
When we walked out of the trailer, there was like 10 of the girls walking out and just a cloud of smoke, and it was like your parents just caught you smoking weed. They were all standing there with their arms crossed, just looking at us in disappointment. We're like, oh, we fucked up.
Oh no.
They gave you the old, we're not mad, we're just disappointed.
Exactly.
Well, if that's all you got was a dirty look, perhaps, I think it's probably well worth it, yeah?
Yeah, way cooler story.
Oh yeah, it was a slap on the wrist and then a dope story to tell after. So we were happy we did it.
Fuck yeah. Let's see. Alex, do you have any other specific questions?
No. I ran through everything else. Really
okay. Well, do you have any crazy, fun, wild training story or anything you want to tell us before we let you go?
Nothing I can think of, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I do have one. Okay, I gotta ask this because I asked Andrea Lee it too. Your Instagram, you're pretty active on it. So I was just curious, what's the weirdest Instagram DM you've ever gotten?
Oh gosh. Every day I send screenshots to my friends making fun of them. So I don't know, daily I get a lot of people, they just like choke me or like punch me in the face. I had somebody message me offering me, he's like, I'll pay you $500 a week for feet pictures, like things like that. It's just a lot of creeps out there.
That's so crazy. That's gotta be a weird spot to be in. So you check your phone after you train. You have, I wouldn't even want to believe how many messages you have just on the regular, and then you have to filter through. You're like, okay, weirdo. Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, thank God they have the little message request box, so it makes it easier to filter them through. But then also there's people who are like you guys who are podcasts who are hitting me up, and it gets trapped in the message request box, and now it's lost in a sea of creeps.
You're the lost city of creeps. I'm glad we filtered our way through the creeps. And
so many times I feel so bad that I have a podcast message me like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see it. Like it's just like it's hard to keep up with all of it sometimes.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you reaching back out to us. It's really fun. We love to have fighters on the show. You are our third fighter, Alex? We've had Arnold Allen, Andrew Lee, and now you. So lucky number three. Lucky number three.
It's a pleasure to talk to you guys.
You have some no bullshit. You have some serious potential in the flyweight division. We are really excited to see you continue to grow. You're only 25 years old. You have hopefully a long career, and hopefully one day you'll have that belt on, and then we can have a little replay of this podcast and talk about it. And like we caught her when she was coming up, so that's exciting.
Definitely.
Well, we'll let you go. It was very, very, very nice to talk to you. Enjoy your move. Enjoy your weed. Enjoy watching those big strong men pick up stuff while you chill.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll give you a little tag when this is posted.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
See ya. What's up, everybody? We want to take this moment to thank one of our sponsors, Schismatic Industries. Schismatic Industries, they have my favorite jiu-jitsu apparel. I rock it pretty much every time I train, unless I'm training, maybe too many days in a row, and they're stuck in the wash, they're stuck in the dry. I'll have to wear some other shitty jiu-jitsu apparel that just bums me out. I don't train the best, I don't look the best. So they are, for those of you who don't know, Schismatic Industries is a jiu-jitsu apparel company that specializes in gi and no gi apparel designed to make you perform and look your best on the mats. You can find them on Instagram their handle is at Schismatic_Industries. That's SCHISMATIC_Industries. The website is schismaticindustries.com. They have a new gi design, I do believe. I think it's only $75. They have promo codes. Check out their Instagram page. You can get it for a really, really, really good deal. The rash guards are second to none. They're the best in the business. I promise you. They have this amazing tight band around the bottom of the rash guard that will hug your hips, and your rash guard will not. You can do whatever. You move your arms up, move your arms down. So you can be stuck in high mount like I always am because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I suck at jiu-jitsu. And you don't have to worry about that because your rash guard will not ride up on you. So check out their gear. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you will not be disappointed. Check out their gear. And we'd also like to thank Guardian Oil. Guardian Oil keeps your skin healthy and clean, and they believe in taking care of the skin and keeping it healthy, fresh, and soft. It is a post-training spray, especially for the grappling phenoms like myself. You get done training, you just had a good time, you're tired, you're sucking down water, you're just ready to get home. But before you get home, spray some Guardian Oil on you, rub that shit in. It will kill all the bacteria. It's extremely easy on skin. It's extremely hard on bacteria, made with 100% natural essential oils and guards against ringworm, staph, athlete's foot, crotch rot, aka jock itch, and even acne. That's right. Stop wasting your money on that proactive bullshit that were on infomercials in 1999. Fuck that shit. Doesn't work. You're a trainer. You like to train just like me, just like anyone who has a nutsack or not a nutsack. We do not hate on our female trainees, or however you want to put it. You can train any sex. However, if you are a grown up and you train, which you should, everyone should, and let's say you worry about acne, knock two birds out one stone. You get done training, put some Guardian Oil on you. You will not only prevent yourself from staph and ringworm, you also prevent yourself or rid yourself of acne. Two birds, one stone. Screw all that acne cream. Their website is tryguardianoil.com. Their Instagram handle is at tryguardianoil. Get yourself some of that. Spray that shit on after you train. Even before you train, why not? Let's get crazy. It's a little spray bottle. It will last you a while. It's not very expensive. It's definitely well worth it. Check them out. That was a good interview with Gillian Robertson. So thank you to her. That was amazing. That was fun. She was really, 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 really fun to talk to.
We made it through the feet comments and the choke me offers and
yeah. Interesting. People are weird.
The other thing we settled is that you're a shill for the UFC, and everyone now confirms it.
That's true. We did confirm that.
Mhm.
She luckily we didn't tell her that
Yeah, that you're an inside agent.
I'm the golden snitch. There was a yeah, I have been on record. I have been on record. I doubt she will. She's
She
very
blew
busy.
your
But
shit up.
if Gillian happens, if Gillian happens to listen to the whole show, I have to say I have stated before until you shut it down that I thought the Reebok deal. I think I said I didn't know for sure. I said it could perhaps be beneficial to the lower level people who maybe have a hard time finding sponsors. I did say that, but she was like, "No, that shit dead." Like she blew it dead in the water. All right, okay, yeah. So no, I'm not an undercover agent for the UFC. In fact, and I did say the way Bellator does it is better. Which I guess I shouldn't say the way Bellator does it. The way the UFC did it for a long time is better. Yeah, sponsors is better for sure. But she was fun. She was fun to talk to. So thank you to her. That was awesome. She was just a really chipper gal. So that was cool. So now we can move on. She would choke me out. She would definitely choke me out. She would definitely choke you out. I'd have a slightly better chance than you would. But
Oh yeah, you're a blue belt now.
I'm a blue belt now.
Yeah. Don't
It's been
quit.
it's been a long time. Yeah, no.
I'm done now. The podcast is over. No more jiu-jitsu shirts.
Yeah. See, even you get it. It's a thing.
I know, because I'm in the meme world, bro.
The blue belt blues, dude. It's a thing. But there's like the disappearing blue belt meme. It's like man, now I'm gonna be trained. Now that I got my blue belt, I'm gonna be training every day, drinking acai or eating it, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. It's a
You eat
Brazilian
acai.
thing.
It's
Do you eat
like
it? Okay.
fucking fruit bowls.
Okay. Well, I'm eating some acai. It's a Brazilian thing. So eating some acai, and then like the memes, like he's like slowly disappearing, and he doesn't go. But it's funny because Justin, one of my buddies, texted me and asked me if I wanted to train today, and I said, "No, Jack, quit." What are you talking about? I got what I got what I wanted. I'm out of here now. Remember that old YouTube video where it was the black guy? I don't remember. I think there was no purpose to the video, but it was hilarious. Where the guy he would do the peace sign and then he'd disappear. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
Fucking hilarious. It's like this little kid doing this video, and like he would do some shit, and I don't want to butcher it. I'm gonna find after this, I swear. He would do some shit, and like his parents would come home, and be like Alex or whatever, and he'd go, and then he would disappear. It's a lame old video.
Yeah.
But it was like him. It was like 5 seconds after getting your blue belt, and it was like, and he was like, Michael Davis, my roommate, prime example. He is a meme. He is a meme, and he would defend himself, which is really funny. I got into like sort of an argument with him like a long time ago. Like I've been training for a while. I'm like a long time white belt. Like I said before on the show, like we don't do promotions nearly as much as most people, and most of the gyms ought to have been a blue belt a year ago. So, he was like, "Yeah, you just get tired of it." You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't think I will, man. I really don't. Like this is like, I've you know, and he was like, "You will, bro. Trust me. Like you'll get over it." And I'm like, I don't know, man. I really enjoy myself. It's like definitely my favorite thing I've ever done ever. Like, so I think about, talk about, post about. So, and he was like, "Yeah, you'll see." I'm like, okay, but
Dude, but you don't have the belt till now, bro. You've only had it for what, like 24 hours now? Slowly, it's gonna just seep into you.
No, it's true. But my argument was, okay, but like since I've been training, I've watched people get their purple belts, I've watched people get their brown belts, and I've watched people get their black. Like they didn't stop. Like why are you just saying like, yeah, you'll stop? Like the last purple belt promoted was 20 years ago. Like everyone else just stops. I don't think that's how it works.
You think you could fuck him up now?
Oh,
you're on the same par.
Definitely, for sure. When you don't train for a long time, like I've had people that I've had people that were way better than me that stopped training for like 6 months and came back, and like I smoke them. It's something you have to stay consistent with. You have to stay consistent with, or you like So like the way it's always been explained to me, which makes sense. Like it's like a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. Like so when you start training, you're like, one day I'll be as good as you, right? Like to some guy or whatever. And it's like, for the most part, let's say 90% of the time, the reality is, okay, like you're here, right? As far as skill level, this guy's here, but like as you're getting better, so is he. So chances are, if someone's like a decent amount better than you, he'll always be better than you because it's not just you getting better. Everyone's
Unless
getting better
you're
every day.
phenom.
Unless you're like a Nicky Rodriguez who got his purple, who went from white belt to purple belt in 8 months and took third in ADCC as a 6-month blue belt, smoking 20-year black belts. You know, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Nick Rodriguez?
No.
Of course, no surprise, one of John Danaher's guys. Started training with John Danaher, and then never trained jiu-jitsu before. 6 months later, he got a blue belt in like 2 months, whatever. And then he went to ADCC, which is the it's every other year. It's the world's biggest no-gi grappling tournament. They have trials for it. Like only the best of the best of the best go. Lachlan Giles, Gary Tonin, Cyborg, those guys, the best guys. Like you have to qualify to go, and he went. He's only been training 6 months. He took third, and he was. I think his nickname, like how fighters have nicknames. I think his nickname is the Black Belt Hunter. He was a blue belt, just destroying black belts, dude. The guys who had been black. He'd been training for 6 months. He was grappling guys who had been black belts for 10 years. Like not training 10 years, like been a black belt for 10 years, and he was just like killing them. So yeah, there are phenoms, and then if you train under John Danaher, then you're basically guaranteed to be a phenom. So, that was he's the only guy I took a back step on because like I know John Jones just recently got his purple belt, and I'm like, let's not get this twisted. John Jones could smoke every purple belt in the world. Like he's just now like started training like in the gi, so he has to go through the steps. But he's like a phenom grappler. But then I paid attention. I was like, Nicky Rodriguez, he's the only purple belt I think that could beat John Jones in a grappling tournament with Nicky Rodriguez. He's also way bigger. He's fucking huge. But that's it. Any other purple belt, you're screwed, you know, because John Jones and him can both smash most black belts. So, anyways, yeah, Michael Davis, if you ever see this, bring that shit on, buddy. Bring it, all those years that you beat me up in the living room. I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm coming for you. He hasn't trained in fucking probably 10 years, honestly. Yeah, dude, I'd smoke his ass, dude. I probably smoked his ass 6 months into training. Just saying.
All right.
Just saying.
So we just had a great interview.
We did.
What else came out of that? That was cool. Oh yeah, the weed policy. So you just can't smoke the week before. So that's been a ball.
I think I told you that. I think I knew that.
Oh,
I didn't know this. I didn't know the specifics of it, but I told you like they test you on weigh-in day and they test you after the fight. You just gotta be clean those.
And what also happened yesterday? Probably one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I think we should go through the card. Let's just.
I seen this funny picture. It was of course it was a meme. But it was like this old man. It was like a painting. Like it wasn't like a real picture. It was like a painting, like an old looking painting. And there's all these children like sitting around some old guy like telling a story. It said like me tell my grandkids about 2020 Hooker versus Poirier.
Dude, the first 2 rounds were insane. Anyway, all right, we're going out of order.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to it.
I'll start. The first fight that I thought was really good, and I was impressed with both guys, was the Brendan Allen, Kyle Dawkins.
Great fight.
Very impressed. I mean, I was impressed by both of them, but I think Dawkins honestly
was more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's like. I think that was his UFC debut or second UFC fight.
I think it was his UFC debut. I think
he went into the contender and like won he won like a decision, and then they didn't give him a contract, so he went back down, and then this is his first one up again.
Okay. Well, your Contender Series fight is not a UFC fight.
It doesn't count. Okay, then yeah, this was a UFC. I mean, Brendan Allen's been smashing people, man. That's why whenever you were saying like, dude, I'm gonna take Dawkins, I was like, dude, Brendan Allen's been fucking on a tear himself.
I have a random question. It's something that I don't know if you can look up or you know off the top of your head. I would probably say maybe probably 1990s. Was there a guy who ran for president named Dukakis?
Yeah.
Was there?
Mm.
Okay. I kept saying Dukakis, and not because of that, but because of shout out to my favorite actor, Jake Gyllenhaal. And Donnie Darko, they're talking about like the Maggie Gyllenhaal goes, she was like the older daughter, and she was like, I'm voting for Dukakis, and her dad was like so upset, and then right before the plane crashed into the building, he's sitting there, he gets up and he turns it on the news and shakes his head and he goes, Dukakis. So I'm just saying. Shout out to Donnie Darko fans. That's a great movie.
I think they spell it different.
This guy's name's not Dukakis. I think it's Dawkins.
Yeah, it's not Dukakis. It's Dawkins.
Yeah. I just kept saying Dukakis because of that. Yeah, he looked good, dude. He did not look bad at all. He looked tired. I thought that was his problem. I think that round 3 he could have choked out Brendan Allen if he was not tired. When he had his back with the body triangle on for so long.
Michael Dukakis was the Democratic presidential nominee in 1998.
Dukakis. That's what the guy says. I think Kyle Dawkins could have choked out Brendan Allen had he not been so tired in that third round.
Yeah, man, he had his back forever. I was like, oh, man.
And we got to talk about
Dude,
it.
Oh, my God.
He
That's
lost
the
the
other thing we
round?
to talk about. How in the fuck did someone not give him the third round?
Someone's dumb.
Dude, they need like an internal review when that happens.
They do?
Like whenever like a judge scores something so unbelievable where it's like makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Like how in the fuck can you possibly not give him that round?
Insane.
There's an argument it could have been a 10-8.
That's what I thought. In my head, I was like, this might be a draw. Like, it might be a draw. Because if they gave Dawkins a 10-8 that round and he lost rounds 1 and 2, that'd be a draw. And someone gave him the round and lost. I mean, I personally scored it the same. I scored it the same way everyone else besides that one guy did. I gave it 29-28 to Allen. But
yeah,
there's no way Dawkins. It was he either won the round or like you said, won 10-8.
Yeah, there's more of an argument that it should have been a draw than him. Like, there's more an argument that he should have won the round 10-8 than there was of him lose the round.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
that's a problem. It's a problem, and I've said it before, in grappling, 10-8s are harder. They just are. I don't know why. I don't think it should be.
They literally changed the rules so that it would be more common.
Yes, and I think it's just because you're not getting hurt and like smashed. Like that's when you see 10-8s. But if you have the back like that, fighting chokes for 4 minutes, I mean, you dominated the round. I mean, you did. It might not look as exciting as getting smashed in the face, but you dominated the whole round. Like, Humble was just on the defensive the whole time, just protecting his neck. That's all he was doing. So, I don't like it. I'm glad like that didn't determine because it was unanimous, right? It's 29-28, 29-28,
yeah.
30. Okay, so Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it better if it was 29-28, 29-28, 28-28. If someone gave Dawkins a 10-8, that would have been more cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Like one. So I think that's called a majority draw. I think it's called a majority draw, or a majority draw is when there's two. There's when I think the majority draw. Oh yes, that is the majority draw is when two people give it a draw and then one person gives it for the other guy, I don't think the other guy wins because two people scored a draw.
Yeah, it
so
would be a draw.
It's a draw. It's a majority draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, either way, yeah, I don't agree with that. Not one damn bit.
Then we had the heavyweight, which was Gillian Valente and Marcus Green.
Well, hang on, let me backpedal for 1 second, can I?
What? Yeah.
Kay Hansen with that slick jujitsu, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay. So maybe we should. Yeah.
That's all I really wanted to say. Round two submission against Frey.
He's only 20. That's crazy.
20 years old. 10th Planet Purple Belt. Shout out. Eddie Bravo made a post about her. He was excited for her. Yeah, she went from that, like, it looked like a hip toss that she was going for, and then as soon as homegirl hit the mat, she threw a hook in. She only had one in, then she threw the other leg around the head, was working that arm bar. As homegirl was trying to sit up out of the arm bar, she threaded the leg through, locked up a triangle, which is what I personally like to call the triangle, when you're stuck in an arm bar and the triangle, which is fucking, I mean, pretty much ideal. Yeah, it's a double threat. And I think she tapped to the armbar. I think it's hard to tell, but it looked like she was wincing. Like as homegirl was extending her hips, I think that's what she tapped to. But sheesh, that was slick. That's some slick jujitsu. Hopefully, we see some of that slick jujitsu on July 12th with Gillian Robertson, Submission Underground.
Mm-hmm.
That was super slick. But we can go right back to where you were talking about before that.
Yeah, and then on the heavyweight, we got not slick submission. Like, it was the weirdest submission I've ever seen.
Yeah, everyone kept calling it an arm triangle from the bottom. I thought it was more of an anaconda, but yeah, most people don't lock up arm triangles hand to bicep like this. Most people are just palm to palm. You can, that's tighter. It's a head and arm choke regardless. There's several of them, and it was threaded at the neck and locked up behind the armpit. I guess it could have been either. I guess I don't know. It was I guess it was either an arm triangle or an anaconda, but either way, it was not a very good one. It should not have put him to sleep. Or I mean, I don't think it would have put him to sleep.
Yeah,
I don't think it would have put him to sleep.
What, dude?
Yeah, like we were talking to Travis last night. He always frustrates me when he says shit that, like, I know more than him about it. You know what I mean? Like I definitely know more about guillotine chokes than he does. Like, just saying. I drill them and practice them all the time. It's a different thing making someone uncomfortable like he did last night. Like, that wasn't going to put him to sleep. It's a different kind of skill to lock it up the right way, where if they don't tap, they're going to go to sleep. I think homeboy would have been fine there. He would have been uncomfortable with that locked up, but he would not have gone to sleep. So yeah, I think it was a really shitty choke, but yeah, I guess he wanted a way out.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought it was really weird. I felt like he could have won the fight there, like if he would have
just chilled.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call that, like we talked about before, like submission attempt should count for something. I wouldn't even call that a submission attempt. He should have won the whole time sitting on top of him.
Yeah.
I think he was basically squeezing his head. You get that a lot with like brand new grapplers. They do that. It's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you don't want to tap and just so you can restart. You don't want to do it because then like you lose a little bit of pride. Be like, dude, why are you just hugging my head? Like, we can't even do anything here. Like, you're not choking me, but now I can't move. You just want to sit here for 5 minutes? It's kind of dumb. I hate that. So annoying. People do that, Alex. People do that.
Yeah.
Once I get you in the gym, you'll just don't be that guy, but you'll experience it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like you'll have someone in your close guard, and their goal is literally to get distance and get out. So when guys are really new, they'll like double arm your head and just hold you there, and you can't really do anything. It's hard to do something for me as an offensive, but I'm like, okay, what's your goal here, buddy? Do you really just want to sit here the whole 5 minutes because you're holding my head? Is that a win for you? Like, that's kind of we're here to do jiu-jitsu. Like, what are you? You're just gonna sit here and hold me? That's so fucking annoying. But anyways, that's what
Right.
seemed. Just saying, that's what it seemed like he was doing. I'm like, he's sitting there
Struck
holding
a
his head.
chord.
Huh?
Struck a chord with you, okay.
Oh, it's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and then we after that was one of the more talked about fights. Platinum Mike Perry, he was not kidding whenever he said the only person in his corner was gonna be his girlfriend, and she really was the only person in his corner, fucking putting like ice on the back of his head, being like, "You're doing so good," like, dude. But honestly, I don't know, like Mickey Gall, what the fuck? Like, I mean, how disrespectful that is. Like, how did that not piss him off unbelievably? Where he was like, "Yeah, bro, I think that you're so much of like, I don't even have to worry about you. I can bring my 21-year-old girlfriend to be the one to coach me, and I'm gonna fuck you up." Like, whew. Yeah, I was, yeah.
I'll tell you what. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy because this is not going where you probably think it's gonna go. I thought Mickey Gall was way better than I thought he would on the feet.
Yeah, but like it didn't do anything. Like Mike Berry ate everything with. You could just so tell the difference.
In the power, yeah.
Oh my god.
But I thought until he got really tired, he looked way better on the feet, which was extremely surprising to me. Yeah, he looked way better on the feet. But then when they got on the ground, yeah, I don't know. It was Mike Perry looked way better on the ground than I thought he would, and he took Mickey Gall down, which is crazy. Cause I know last time don't quote me, he took someone down. He got armbarred by Cowboy Cerrone. So I was like, thank you when he took Mickey Gall down. Is what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then Gall didn't do like anything on the ground at all.
No, he didn't.
Didn't he almost get a Kimura? Like,
yeah.
And
I was super excited. Well, we both had a bet on Mickey Gall by submission. Yeah, he had a Kimura and he turned it into a sweep, but then I think they just stood up right after. Like I was hoping like he could stay on top and maybe finish that Kimura on top, which is ideal. But he flipped him over and then it was I think they just stood right back up. So yeah, that was a shame. I heard something on Instagram where it said the UFC gave Mike Perry Mickey Gall thinking it was an easy win for Mike Perry to keep him on the roster because that would have been 3 straight for him. I think lost if he would have lost. I think so because he lost to Vicente Luque.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Jeff Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked him out. This was his last fight. It's top of my head. I don't have anything pulled up. I think that's what happened.
And he wants to fight Darren Till now.
Yeah. I don't know. They sparred before. He says he did well. I don't know. I think Darren Till would make it easy work of him, but
yeah.
Then again, I kind of said that about Mickey Gall. So yeah, I gotta. What's it called? Is that called eating? Is that what eat? I'm not very good with expressions. Is that what eating crow is?
I don't know that one.
Eating crow? Look it up, Alex. Anyone listening who knows this, I'm like, these fucking idiots.
Haven't you heard that?
Like, I'm gonna make you eat crow. I think it means I eat your words. I think so.
It's common English countries. Humiliation by admitting having been proven wrong after taking a strong position. So you're right.
I would say that. I ate crow. And that did not taste good. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, and it cost me money.
And it cost me a little bit of money. Yeah, I just thought with the whole corner situation, with the corner situation with Gall's style, I just thought, he's kind of an up and comer. I was like, yeah, I think it's Mickey Gall's time. Mike Barry doesn't really impress me that much, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. So that busted my parlay, and then
I didn't really once Dawkins lost. Like, if Gall didn't win by submission, it didn't really matter to me. Like, when I realized he wasn't getting a submission, I didn't really care anymore because like him just winning wouldn't have won me any money. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah. So interesting fight. Mike Perry was very funny after the interview.
Of course he is. He is.
Where is he from? Do you know? Just like
Mm, I don't know. The hood, I think. Africa, I think.
what?
Yeah, do you know his story with the N-word?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. He did like a 23andMe and it came back he was like 0.5% African and he was like, yeah, so now I can say, and he would say the N-word. And like he
Oh,
got crazy and he just kept doing it. And he got crazy hate from the black community and he was like, I don't know what they're tripping about. I got the test results. I'm African.
He's from Flint, Michigan.
Well, yeah, he was dropping N-words like crazy, dude. He was like, I'm African. I can say this. And the black man was like, no, you can't.
Right.
He's a goofy motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. So then we got, which what everyone said, a lot of people were calling might be one of the best fights of the year. And I mean, wow. I mean, I was just shocked the first two, like that they were able to, no one got knocked out in the first 2 rounds. They were just slugging each other.
Dude, I'm surprised no one got knocked out all 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy. I thought Poirier was literally going to break Dan Hooker's arm.
Oh,
With that
yeah.
armbar.
Yeah.
It looked so tight to me. I mean, I guess it was only tight for a couple of seconds before Hooker kind of rolled out of it. But like the whole time, I'm like, oh, that's in. And like right before he got out, it got like it looked crazy hyperextended. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna break. Oh, and then he escaped, which I guess kind of makes it even a cooler story. Cause what a fight! What a fight! How did that happen? Did Hooker take him down, or was that one of the times that Poirier took him down? I don't remember how they even got there.
I don't remember either. They started to take each other down a lot.
Well, Hooker was taking him down a lot and always getting caught in a guillotine every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Which leads me to the conclusion that this is going to sound shitty, but leads me to the conclusion that Dan Hook or Dustin Poirier has, like me, not a very good guillotine because he had Khabib in one too, and I thought he was going to finish it, and he didn't. It allowed him to stand up a lot, though. It allowed him to get back up to his feet basically every time.
Yeah.
Every time he threatened that guillotine on Hooker. And, dude, there was one time. I don't remember if it was the first time or the second time. It looked so deep. I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. But to my point earlier, they're a lot fucking harder than they look, all right? I don't care what Travis says. They're harder than they look.
Yeah, but just a crazy fight. I mean, definitely
Hard to score. Hard to score. Although Poirier for sure won at least 3, right?
Yeah. I mean, I had 4. I had Poirier winning 4, but
I think one person had 4 and one person had 3, right?
Mm.
It was like 48-47, 48-47, and then like 49-46, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have had 4 too. It was round 2 that was like, I'm not sure, right?
Yeah.
Round
I thought
2.
Poirier looked way better on the feet that round, and then but Hooker got a takedown, but he didn't do anything with it. So
That's true. That's a good argument too, because I don't have the right answer. Because I hear a lot of people say takedowns we don't do anything with it shouldn't count, but god damn, that's a lot of effort to take someone down. I think it should count something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, it was round 2 because I think Hooker definitely won round 1. I think everyone can agree with that.
Mhm.
And then round 2, I was like, ooh, real close, maybe Poirier, and you said Poirier as well. So it was 1-1. And after round 2, I think it was pretty evident that Poirier won 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Which another thing I want to eat crow about, sort of. I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll be eating crow again. I thought after round 3, it was Poirier would not do well. I thought Hooker would turn it up, and he was looking way more tired than Hooker earlier in the fight. Hooker looked the fresher man earlier, and then they both just looked fucking tired. But after like round 3, they both just looked tired. But
Yeah.
Poirier has this weird thing, man. I don't know what it is about him, where he looks like he's getting real tired. I'm like, fuck, he's looking tired, and he just still somehow can fight all 5. Still taking those big deep breaths.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, and like a crazy swing that'll miss, or like not really spin around, but I'm like, ooh, he's looking tired. He's just throwing shit up there. And then he just makes it through and finishes strong, no matter how tired he looks. So good for him. Yeah, he at least won 3 rounds. He definitely won the fight. So I guess it was just round 2 that might be harder to score. You know, regardless of who gave round 2 to, Poirier won 3, 4, and 5 most likely.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too surprised, but with these fucking judges, I was like, who knows, man? Who fucking knows? I was like, it's probably gonna be a fucking split decision with these fucking assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Great fight though, great fight. Now the question is, dude, Hooker's been in 2 of probably the 3 most exciting fights of the year. Hooker and Felder was nuts. Was that was this year, right? Or was that end of last year? Pull up the date.
This year.
I think so too. Pull up the date if you can. I think it's January.
The Curse of Paul the Irish Dragon.
The Curse of the Irish Dragon is fucking real. If you beat Paul Felder, enjoy it while you can, because you're losing your next fight.
It's February. It's February this year.
February, okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out for our good friend Eddie at Grind Gang MMA. Big friend of the podcast. Big friend of the podcast. Friend of mine, I would say. He tagged me in this thing at first and was like, check this shit out. Or I don't remember what he said, but basically that. And then I looked at it and it said ESPN posted something about the Curse of Paul Felder. I think it was ESPN. Maybe it was someone else, but I was like, oh shit. Interesting. Good look for Poirier. I wanted Poirier to win. I think Poirier is just a super likable dude. I just think he's very easy to root for. You know, he's just like the good guy. He's like he's a lot like Bisping with like it's a really like I guess you could call it inspirational like UFC story to me. You know, he's just a guy who just had nothing but fighting for the most part, and he's had the same. Just like Bisping, he's had the same girlfriend. Well, I'm sure they're married now, but the same girl since like his first amateur fight. And he talks. I think he talked to Brendan Schaub on Food Truck Diaries a while after he won the interim belt. I think about how there's a few times he just wanted to quit fighting, and his girlfriend was like, "No, you gotta keep doing it. You'll be world champion one day." You know, and then he kind of did. I mean. I'm not as mean about interim belts as a lot of people are. I think they mean something. I do. Well, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but it's a piece of the puzzle. You know, you have to unify the belts. There's a reason they do it. If the champ's not active, I mean, I guess you could say there's no need for a belt. It's just the number 1 contender spot, but it kind of makes it cool. It's like you get your belt, your next fight's guaranteed to be for the other belt. It's called, they call it unifying the belts. I think that's cool. So he kind of was a world champion while the real world champion was on hold. So he's got a cool story. I don't think he'll ever be champion.
He might retire. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good question. That was unplanned, which I said that I think last week, and you were like, "You think anyone who watches this thinks we plan shit out?" So, but unplanned. When Khabib is done, well, I guess. That's a dumb question. Because I think Gaethje beats him. What? Well, okay. Let's say hypothetically Gaethje does not fight. He doesn't fight Khabib. Let's say Khabib retires as the champion. Who is the next champion going to be, and how long will they be champion before someone beats them, and who beats them?
I don't know, man.
But we gotta take Khabib out of the picture because then we're speculating. Because if he's in the picture, then your answer is going to be it has to be Gaethje beats him, and then Gaethje's the new champion. So forget about that. Forget about Khabib. Who's the next champion if Gaethje didn't fight?
I mean, I think a Poirier Gaethje 2 would be a sick fight
for the championship.
Yeah.
And Poirier won the first one, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think Gaethje. Here's where it gets weird. I was going to say he's the future of the lightweight division, but he said he wants to beat Khabib, beat Conor just to shut him up, then give Poirier the title shot to avenge his loss, and then retire. That's all he wants. He wants 3 fights. So he said on Rogan's podcast. He said, I'm gonna beat Khabib, I'm gonna shut Conor up, and then I'll give Poirier a title shot to avenge my UFC loss, and then I proved everything there is to prove. I'm out.
I don't get everyone just proving what they want to prove. What about being like dominant?
I don't know. It's unpopular now. Who are the dominant? Well, Holloway was super, super, super dominant. Johnson was super, super, super dominant. Who is the 135-pound king? Oh, Cruz. I guess Cruz. Between Cruz and Cruz, Dillashaw, and Garbrandt. I guess they never really had a long running champion, did they? It's kind of like a toss up between those guys, huh?
Yeah.
But 145 was Max. First it was Aldo forever, and then Conor got it for 5 minutes, and then it was Holloway forever. Other weight class, 155. Khabib hasn't really been champ that long. I guess John Jones is the only one who's like still dominating and the only dominant champ, right? I would say Max Holloway before he just recently lost last year or whatever. Not really any Anderson Silvas anymore. They just stay active, stay on top. I guess John Jones is the only one, huh?
Yeah, like
besides Holloway. Holloway was until he just lost. Holloway was looking like the most unbeatable featherweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Alex. Why don't people just stick around and dominate? GSP style, Anderson Silva style, shit like that.
So the longest reigning middleweight is Silva, welterweight is St. Pierre, flyweight is Johnson, featherweight is Aldo.
Featherweight's the best one because that's the only one where every time there's a champ, they run for a long time. Because once Holloway became champ, Holloway was the king for a long time. He's tied. Look that up. I think they're tied, dude.
This is going by days.
Oh, by days. I think they're tied. I think Holloway has more title defenses than Aldo. I think. Look up who has more title defenses, Aldo or Holloway. I think they're either tied or Holloway has more.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a shame because Gaethje could. While you look that up, Gaethje could. He could just run that division for a few years. You know what I mean? Assuming he beats Khabib, which I know is not a popular opinion from another friend of the show, Tom at God Mode. He's a big Khabib fan, and I like Khabib too. I know it's an unpopular opinion that Gaethje's going to beat him. That's fine. I've been good at eating crow lately.
Oh,
bless you, sir.
Excuse me.
That might be tricky to look up. Why don't you just Google most featherweight title defenses?
Cause.
If I end up being a better Googler than you, we've been doing it all wrong.
Aldo has 7. So.
Oh, dude, I guarantee I guarantee Holloway has more than that. I would almost guarantee it. I think he has like 9.
These lists haven't been fucking updated.
Oh, yes, they have.
The ones I'm looking at.
There you go. Max Holloway. What's this? What is this? This might just be most bouts. Holloway has most fights in featherweight. Shout out Michael Bisping has most fights at middleweight.
All right, so heavyweight, Stipe has 3 defenses. John Jones has 11 at lightweight. Anderson Silva has 10 at middleweight. George St. Pierre has 9 at welterweight. BJ Penn has 3 at lightweight. Frankie Edgar has 3 at lightweight. Benton Henderson has 3 at lightweight. Aldo has 7 at featherweight. Cruz has 2 at bantamweight. TJ Dillashaw has 2 at bantamweight. Demetrius Johnson has 11 at flyweight.
Aldo has 7, dude. Holloway has to have 7. He has
He's
to.
not on the list.
I know. Okay, so I gotta find this out. This is gonna drive me fucking crazy. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have the most, but now I really have to know how many title defenses does Holloway have?
Okay.
Can you just look that up? That might be
Yeah.
hard.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, you're a better Google than me because I'm having a hard time finding any of this.
I mean, he has 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so sorry for anyone listening who fucking knew I was wrong all those minutes. Jeez. Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, fucking there you go. Eat and grow again. There you go. God dang, I thought he had way more. His fourth
fourth title defense was his loss against Volkanovski.
Yeah, so he successfully defended it 3 times. Was he just smoking people before he gets won the belt, huh? Because his career is pretty insane. Damn.
I don't know, dude. I think
now I do have to disagree with Mr. Joe Rogan. He can't be the best featherweight of all time. It's got to be Aldo.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan said because he beat Aldo twice, correct? Pretty sure he's beaten Aldo twice. Can you at least pull up his record? Pretty sure
he beat him twice in a row. He won the belt from him and then beat him again.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was what makes. I know Rogan says he's the best, and Travis told me that. I'm like, he was like, definitely Aldo, and I'm like, it seems like a pretty common opinion that Holloway's the best featherweight of all time, but now I don't think. I think I'd have to give it to Aldo.
Yeah, but he also lost twice to him, so like.
I know that's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets tricky. It's like the Bellator guys weighing in. Shout out to the most handsome man of the game, Josh Thompson, and Big John McCarthy, the best ref in the game. A throwback. They get so mad when people say Nunes is the best of all time because Chris Cyborg has only lost to Nunes. I'm pretty sure she was undefeated forever, never lost. But then Nunes beats her, and Nunes has like 4 or 5 losses on her record. But then, I mean, she's really like since she's became like so good, she's looked unstoppable. Like she had like flaws earlier on in her career, her losses, but I think most of them were just all cardio issues. But so it's tricky. Like maybe it's because Cyborg was taking roids. You know, maybe that's why they don't consider her. She got busted for performance enhancing drugs. So I don't know. I guess who cares, you know? Holloway's definitely he's at least second best, if he's not the best, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with 3 successful defenses, then I guess I gotta give to Aldo best featherweight of all time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he can do 2 weeks from now.
I think he beats Volkanovski in the rematch. I do.
Really?
Yep. And this is not coming from like a Holloway fanboy, because I predicted Holloway's loss to Poirier when he came up. Predicted that. And I predicted Holloway's loss to Volkanovski. I remember you and I, it was way before the podcast. You and I, we were chatting about it. And I think you're the one who made a comment like why you always got Holloway losing? I'm like, I don't. I had good feelings there. So this is me backtracking. I think he beats Volkanovski in the rematch. Because I think leg kicks were the real big issue for him with Volkanovski. I think someone Holloway's caliber is going to seriously address that issue. And I think he'll just get the upper hand. I think he wins by decision though. I don't think he stops him.
Yeah.
So next week we'll have a break. No UFC action next week, right?
No, so we should do a rundown of the whole card.
Yes, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do at least main card predictions for sure.
Yeah.
Throw up that card for me, will you? We got off the top of my head, we got Amanda Hebos versus Paige Van Zant. That's the first fight, I think, on the main card. And then we got, let's see, the 3 title fights, right? So we'll have Aldo and Jan is the third from the main. The co-main is Volkanovski and Holloway 2, and the main is Burns and Usman for the welterweight championship.
And in between that is Jessica, before the main event, or before the title fights, it's Jessica Andras versus Rose.
Versus Rose 2, yes. Yeah. So we got Hebus versus Van Zant, Rose versus Namajunas 2, Jan versus Aldo for the bantamweight title. And then, oh my gosh, dude, what a card. That's probably the best card of all time.
Yeah. I mean, the prelims are...
Are they trash?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, oh well. We buying this one, Alex? I think we should.
Duh.
Okay. Well, I don't know what your fucking plans are. If you're at a bar, then you're not going to buy it, obviously.
No, I'll buy it.
Okay.
I'll do what we did last time.
Yeah, for sure. Are you going to watch it with some boys?
Yeah.
Cool fucking story, bro. I don't have anything else. If you want to do what we did, I think last week, can you just Google some MMA news, see if there's anything worth discussing before we bounce out of here? I feel like there's some shit. Just briefly read some shit.
Okay.
It's worth.
Gustafson says heavyweight move may not be permanent.
No, don't really care.
Boss Rutan shares his Mount Rushmore of MMA and includes Conor McGregor.
Okay, read that shit. What the fuck? Come on, Boss Rutan. What the fuck is that all about? Why would he have Conor McGregor in the Mount Rushmore? I guess because what he's done for the sport, but fuck that.
Conor McGregor thinks COVID-19 diagnosis for Khabib's father was a cover-up.
No, I'm not reading that.
John Jones saying he's willing to sit out multiple years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about that. That's kind of ballsy.
I respect what he said whenever he was like, I think other fighters will appreciate. I said, someone has to do it. Someone has to be the person to do it. And John Jones is deciding to be it.
You did say that. And on top of that, God darn it, we should have asked Gillian this. Son of a bitch, I forgot. Reebok's deal's up at the end of the year. And it says they don't think they're re-signing with Reebok.
Whoa.
So what's next for UFC sponsor?
Yeah.
I heard Nike.
Oh, they're not going to bring back. Well, I hope they bring back. I mean, that'd be an easy way for them to throw fighters a bone.
Well, Nike might just allow them to be like, yeah, they're Nike shorts. You have a little fucking check mark on there, and you can still throw sponsors on there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like the NBA did that.
Wasn't the NBA sponsored by Wish at one point? That's hilarious. Or are they still?
No, I think that's just certain teams.
Oh, okay. That's funny as shit. I used to use Wish. I haven't used it in a while. To get some rinky-dink Chinese shit for cheap.
So Rutan says Royce Gracie, number 1, 100% first guy.
You just say Royce? How dare you?
Royce? Sorry.
There you go. Jesus.
Then he said Chuck
Where's
Liddell.
your culture, bro? Where's your culture? Sorry, I had to make fun.
Then he said Fedor.
Chuck Liddell?
And,
I get Fedor.
And Connor as number 4.
All right, dude. Bossard. Fuck, what the fuck? So Mount Rushmore, that's 4 people?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's easy. That's fucking easy. John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Anderson Silva, GSP. That's easy as fuck for me.
Yeah.
Easy choice. Those are to me, is the 4 best of all time, regardless. I think so. Sorry, Fedor. Sorry, Fedor. But that's it. That's gotta be it. Boss Rutan's full of shit.
Yeah, that's all that's going on.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what happens with Reebok. Or I guess what doesn't happen with Reebok. Because he did an interview with your buddy, the Schmo. Dana White did. And you gotta listen to the Schmo talk to Bisping, dude. You'll like it. He drops the character. He explains himself. He uses his real name. He doesn't talk funny. It's nice. He's like, he literally got nowhere in his journalism career until he started doing that. Did you ever see Did you ever see What Made the Schmo Famous? And I saw it live. I'm like, what in the fuck is that? And then I think it was Don Bisping's podcast when he was like, when did like you start to stay now? It wasn't very long ago, dude. It was like maybe a year or two ago, where he's at the press conference. He's got the goofy outfit on, and yeah, you over there, and he goes, hey Dana, what's up with the 165 weight class division? We all want to see it, whatever. And he's like, can you give us an answer? And when I say us, I mean the schmo. And then Dana laughs and goes, what the fuck just happened? It was really, really, really fun. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
All right.
But yeah, so I think, anyways, Dana White was on the Schmocast or whatever his podcast is called, and he named three people. The Schmo did. Is it one of these three people that will be your next UFC's next sponsor after Reebok's done? And Dana said, well, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, you know. And he was, is it one of those three? And Dana said, yeah, it's one of those three. So it was like, it was Nike, it was Venom, which would be really fucking cool. I like Venom's gear a lot. They have really good grappling gear. Not as good as Schismatic Industries, but it's all right. It was Venom, Nike, and I don't remember the third one, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe they'll start letting fighters do some more shit. Who knows?
Yeah.
What's crazy is if Reebok's really only paying them $3,000 a fight, why can't they also have sponsors on the shorts?
She said I think she said you get that for your first 3. That's it.
And,
like that
then,
lump sum.
No, and then she said it's 5,000. I think after that. I think that's what she said. We'll have to listen back. They don't get paid very much by Reebok, so why doesn't Reebok allow them to put other shit on there?
Because they pay the UFC a shitload.
Well, like we said with her, like it's so much more boring. They have to be the same colors. They'll be gray or they'll be black, and then sometimes you'll get, like, if you're from Canada or Russia, you can get red. If you're from like Mexico, you can get green. That's it. It's lame as fuck. Super lame, dude. You should be able to have whatever color you want. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I guess it's more of a quote unquote uniform, but I don't fuck with the uniform. Wear what you want. Sorry for making that too long,
I'm right
but
there with you.
Yeah, I know. Bellator does it better.
All right.
Circle's better too. Circle's better than the octagon.
Okay.
Just saying. Yeah, and you're caught in between a wedge, like that's fucking weird. Like, if it's a circle, you don't have to worry about that. I feel like that can be a big factor in the corner of the octagon. But whatever. What the fuck do I know? Thanks for listening. Thanks to Gillian Robertson. She was super, super cool.
Yeah.
When Alex gets this podcast put up next week, we'll give her a tag. Do you have your laptop back yet?
No, but I'm using it.
You don't have it, but you're using it.
No, I have it, but it still doesn't work the way it should. But it's fine.
Okay. I'm so confused. So you have it and it works, or it doesn't?
It does work. It works for this, but I have to have like a cordless mouse.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
How is that annoying? Mouses are better anyways.
It's not a laptop anymore if I need a fucking mouse.
Dude, mouses are way better.
Okay. Now I have a little desktop.
My wife uses a mouse for our laptop.
Yeah, because she's...
So the only thing that makes laptops cool is you don't need a mouse? That's for
Yeah, because you can take them anywhere.
You can take them anywhere and bring a mouse with you. It's not that big of a deal.
You need a fucking surface for the mouse. It's not on your lap anymore.
Anything works as a surface. Anything.
Okay.
You can throw a magazine or a book or anything.
Yeah, and you look like a fucking weirdo.
There's no helping you there, buddy. You look like a weirdo no matter what.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie's going to enjoy hearing this, just so you know. Eddie said, oh my God, I can't believe Alex is 26. He fucking looks like he's 40. He should get rid of the beard. He told me that. He told me that. You need to get rid of your beard, Alex. You look too old.
No, dude. Then I'll look like a child.
No, you have a good beard. You have a good looking beard. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
right.
Thanks to Gillian Robertson again. She was cool. And then, yeah, that's it. So next week we'll do a big breakdown of UFC 251, which is really exciting. We can pretty much talk about UFC 251 the whole show next week. Nothing else to talk about. So, cool story. Thank you, Alex. I'm sure you'll post this as soon as you can. We'll give Gillian a tag in it, all that good stuff. All right, man. Peace out. Wash your fucking hands, everybody. See ya.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.